All right. Hello, everyone.
Now we're live.
Now we're live. That was weird because I did hit the button. That was weird. Hi. So welcome. We have Tracy here. We have Miss Martin Muse. Hello, Teresa. Hi, lovely. And we have Darth Megatron. Wow, that's pretty cool. And thank you guys so much for joining. We'll wait for people to start dropping in. Sorry for I had a little mishap. I thought I pressed the go live button and I was really spewing and chatting about what's been going on in my life. And Stig right here is like, are we really live?
Yeah, if I hadn't been on, you'd still be yapping pretty much.
Yeah,
offline.
we'd still be, not even online, just yapping and talking just to ourselves. So good morning. And thank you guys for joining in. And we are still continuing our weekly coffee chats, Thursday morning coffee chats. I just had to step back for a little bit. It's how life is, taking care of some stuff. And that sometimes priorities take most of the time priorities in life take the forefront of anything else. And so I am glad to be back. And so we do have Dollified here. Hi. Then how are you guys doing? So the most important question of the morning is what's in your mug or what you're drinking as we sit down and chat Star Wars EU. So we have Stig here with us today. So say hello and then maybe introduce yourself or say whatever and you want to say, Stig, or introduce yourself, or yeah.
Hello there.
There we go.
Whatever.
And whatever. See, he's a good partner here in this coffee chat when he comes on as a guest. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm drinking Coca-Cola. I should not be drinking Coca-Cola because I'm on a diet, but I've been working hard on my nerd room.
So. Yeah. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I have a man cave now in my apartment. Redecorated refurnitured the guest room. Yeah. So none of you are allowed to come over anymore because there's no more extra bed.
Well, I'll take the couch.
Well, it's a 2-seater. You'd probably fit in it.
Probably. I'm so tiny.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of like watching, or Stig's been sharing some pictures with me on his man cave and putting that together. So that's pretty good. So it's
actually
really
I
nice.
have all those my EU book collection and all the comics are next to the couch. Mm-hmm. So if you show up and use the couch, I don't think I'll get rid of you. You'll just stay there for a couple of years
and read, huh? And read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pop in with some food now and again.
Yeah. So good morning, Matt G. Dollified. Again, I already said hello. Good morning. And Dollified is having some Walton's Best Brew. That sounds good. Darth.
No, that's not good.
Why?
Because it's coffee enema. That's not good, Alora.
That is?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
It's been no pun intended, it's been a running joke.
Okay. All right. I haven't, I still haven't caught myself up with all that coffee enema nonsense.
Yeah, just don't do that.
Yeah, well, let's just consume coffee normally here, okay?
It's a backup topic by default.
That's why Matt G says, damn it. Probably. And then good morning, Rookie Critic. How are you doing today? So today is just some fun, casual talk of the EU. I haven't had a chance to put my lore video up, but we are moving on to the Rilla 2 and the Darth Bane trilogy. And so we may discuss just a little bit of that. I still want to get that lore video up for that. And so basically, I'm not jumping ahead or not saying because I didn't do it this week that I'm going to move on. I'm still keeping to my schedule. Just my schedule got pushed back, and so we're still going to review Rule of 2 here soon. So we have Darth Megatron going to be seeing Empire in the theaters today. Oh, Empire's out in the theaters today? Am I missing something?
Yeah, they're being
Look at my
the
hair.
OT is being shown in theaters
Okay,
because
ours
Disney
is
needs
closed, I
money,
think.
I suppose.
Yeah, well, they do. I mean, but ours has been closed. Where I live at, they decided to shut down any indoor activity kind of situation for the 19. And now I'll call it just the 19 instead of the other name or anywhere else. But yeah, so our theaters, anything that has to do with indoors, like gym, all that, are now shut down once again. So, which sucks. So, but I don't know. Stig, would you go and watch OT if it's put out in your theaters?
Um, yeah, if not a dime of it goes to Disney, sure.
You're like, I'll just stay home and watch it because I can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
I
not gonna. They're not getting my money anymore.
yeah. And then hi Critches, how are you doing? I have 8 people here, so you guys go ahead and press the like button and share. Let people know I'm back online. We're back with our normal routine. I'm getting everything ironed out and taking care of everything. Now with me, with if our theater did open and it did give us the and we did get the OT. I don't know if I would go support it. I think that they're trying to create the same magic that George did when he got to, put the OT back out there in the theaters, and how much that created more money for him again, and how popular that was. It's probably
Yeah,
still
well,
going to be popular still because they are classics.
if you don't have the talent for magic, you'll never create it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the good one. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, some theaters are opening and just showing old classics and the like. Yeah, we do have like a theater that was open for a while, and it was a classic theater that was showing like mini classics. I think one of the last ones that they showed was what do you call it? There's a few of them, but Back to the Future and classics like that.
I would have liked to watch Aliens in the cinema,
Oh
and
yeah.
Jaws. I saw a picture a couple years ago. It was like a almost like a drive-in, but there was a huge screen in front of a pond,
Hmm.
and they were showing Jaws, and people were sitting in these rubber boats and stuff in the pond
Yeah. Oh.
watching Jaws.
Oh. Okay.
That that seemed perfect.
There you go, huh? Too bad they didn't have like the motion sensing where they make the waves and stuff. So
Yeah,
when
or
Jaws starts coming, and then your boat starts rocking.
yeah, or they could have had a mechanical shark hidden under there, right? It just
Oh
pops
yeah,
up.
just going around or having that little fin, just go around in the water.
Yeah, or have a real shark, a big one.
Oh my god, no, thank you. I'm not that adventurous. All right, so Namuns. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Jurassic Park was number 1 in the box office the one weekend.
Hmm. I
Okay.
saw that one when it was originally released in the cinema. It was
Yeah,
at the
I
one of
don't
the first
remember.
viewings.
I don't remember seeing it in the cinema. So there you go. So that was one I don't remember at all. Seen in cinema. Matt G. Theaters should stream Fandom Menace videos. Want to see O.G.Starwars and Merry Mayhem in IMAX? Oh well, thank you. That'd be really weird. I wouldn't want to watch myself, but that's just me.
I want to watch myself on VHS,
You want to watch yourself on VHS?
if anything.
Okay. Which version of the OT would they be playing?
Probably the
Um,
one that's on Blu-ray, the edited thing.
oh yeah, you mean from the the specials to the non?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think they're doing the most current. I think.
yeah. They're always doing the most current.
Yeah. Let's see here. And let's go on. Darth Megatron just missing actual sharks. There we go. You're right on with Stig. Um, what I watched Empire during a March break at the YMCA with a bunch of 12 to 18-year-old kids. I was 10, I think. Oh wow, that's pretty cool. That's really cool. Put a little bit. Yeah, I watched my first time I watched Empire Strikes Back. It was in a drive-in theater. So I was sitting in a car. We had We had like fried chicken. We had our own popcorn. Um, we had our blankets, and at this theater too, they had a little not theme park, but they had like a little park where you can go play on the swings and swing, and you could still see the movie, what have you. So I so we watched it from our vehicle, and I remember that. So it was cool. It was fun. Sometimes we'd go to those drive-in theaters and just put a blanket on the hood and relax and lay up against the windshield. And a family member, a friend had a truck. We would sit in the back of the truck, the bed of the truck, and watch. So it was pretty cool times. Old school.
Watched Empire was the first one I watched.
That was mine too. Well, I watched
rented it at a video store.
Okay. Well, in a sense, Empire was my first watched, on the big screen, I guess you can say. But A New Hope, or basically Star Wars, was we watched on VHS. My family made sure that we were caught up, and so because we didn't go see it, Star Wars, in the theater when it came out, because I wasn't able to. My family got the VHS, we watched it, and then we went to the theaters and watched the release of Empire Strikes Back in the drive-in theater. So that was pretty cool.
Was that your very first exposure to any Star Wars?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine was my ground zero was the Star Wars, the Marvel comics.
Yeah.
Issue number 75.
Oh, okay. So you went EU wise.
Yeah, that was my ground zero. Then,
okay.
I got a Chewie action figure, and
cool.
The Han Solo one where is the Hoth costume.
Yeah.
And the AT driver.
Ah, cool. Yeah.
So I had one villain and Chewie and Han. So the villain always lost.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that because here are many people who get started with the EU right away. Usually it's the movies that influence them. And Return of the Jedi influenced me into the EU because Luke's my hero. Luke's my favorite character. And so after Return of the Jedi, I needed to see what happened with him. I wanted to see what he did and what he became after seeing him declaring himself as a Jedi. And and after the heroes, were triumphant and stuff. So that's what got me into the EU, is basically Return of the Jedi, and Return of the Jedi is my absolute favorite. So,
would you say the Marvel comics though from the 80s counts as EU since they don't fit with anything?
They're still EU, but they're those newer ones, are not those newer ones, but those very first ones, they stayed in S canon from what I understand. And then as Marvel started developing more and more, they started getting more in tune with the lore. And so then, then we have them transitioning out. But those very first ones, they were true, but then they were what ifs and stuff. So they're very interesting. So
what was the first EU product you ever read or played or what, something like that?
Trusat Bakura. Yeah, Trusat Bakura. I went straight to the first book that happened right after Return of the Jedi. I ignored the Throne trilogy, and I was like, I want to go read this in chronological order and to see what happened. I want to see what exactly happens right after Return of the Jedi, and so I went and read Trusat Bakura.
I bet you can't guess what mine was.
Yours? Your very first one?
My very first EU experience.
You just told us.
Well, those don't count. They're not.
Okay.
It was the X-Wing game.
Oh, okay. So yeah, went game. And a lot of people start with the games too. I mean, usually there's a lot of people who start the EU with the games, and that's very common.
Yeah, I wanted to go for the whole experience because back then that game was fantastic.
Yeah,
it was an X-Wing simulator, and it was very well done. I had bought a joystick for it, and then my parents went to the store for Saturday shopping. I was home alone. Put on a bicycle helmet and swimming goggles, and I had some ruined breath mask thing I found at the garbage dump, and I taped that to the side of the helmet.
Oh my
And
god.
I was sitting there in my boxers playing
Yeah.
that game, going, stay on target and shit like that. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, I realize my mom is in the door looking at me, shaking her head in disgust. And she never approved of my video gaming after that. Not once. She hated it.
Oh Lord, I could
Yeah,
just. Uh, I
I
wish
did.
there was pictures. I would love to see pictures of you like that playing your video games.
Yeah, it was a half-naked 12-year-old wearing
Yeah.
swimming goggles and a helmet. It's
So you were in swim trunks, probably, huh? On your swimming helmet, all that, and playing the
yeah.
game. Okay.
I I felt like an X-wing pilot, but I sure as hell didn't look it.
Yeah. So I bet you this chat really loves this now. So we have Nemons. I'm sorry. I don't remember when I first watched A New Hope. Probably a drive-in situation as well. Yeah. I was a boy who wanted to fly. Oh, everybody's sharing their experiences. I saw 97 release of the episode 6. That was my first Star Wars theater experience. Wow, nice. Some people's their first is also the when they just they brought him back out in the theater for some people. And my thing is I hope and pray that even people who do go watch like Empire Strikes Back and these re-releases in the theater of the OT, that they take their children, the newer generation, and they give them the true experience of Star Wars, how George wanted it to be. That's my thing. Yeah, the money is going towards Disney. That's out of our control. But my thing is like showing the true Star Wars, how George intended, and that's the OT and the PT. Don't do it, Anakin. Don't do it. All right,
Don't do it, Anakin.
there we go.
You've done that yourself.
Yeah, I got to get those clips up, get some more clips up. Okay, Matt G, I saw episode 3 and Batman Begins in the same day at the theater. I saw episode 7 and it was Wonderful Life in the same day at the theater. It was very hard to avoid spoilers for It's a Wonderful Life. Okay. And how did you like episode 7? All right. I remember watching Return of the Jedi at a family member's house, and I think they gave us the OT on VHS as a gift and watched the hell out of them till the tapes wore out. Yes, that's the life. Empire was the first to go, unfortunately. Oh, yeah, VHS time. I totally understand. Or if you don't keep your VHS, the you know the player clean, it eats your tape as well. I remember those days having to carefully dissect and get that tape out of there, and then get in the little spray and cleaning it, and getting the VHS cleaning kit to clean it to make sure. Yeah, just like tapes, cassette tapes.
I was on a stream not long ago talking about 80s movies and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And some movies are actually better on VHS because the picture quality is worse. So when it comes to old horror movies and stuff, that adds to it.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah,
I never thought of it that way.
well, it does.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when it comes to horror movies, like the less you see, the scarier it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Stig, okay, so I'm not trying to stray from Star Wars, but because you said horror, what was your first like scary or horror movie in the theater?
Not sure if I've seen any of them in the theater, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'll have to think on that. And mostly I watched action movies and stuff.
Yeah. Mine, and I don't know if it would be a horror movie or just maybe drama and scary, but my first one that I totally like, I've probably seen before then, but the one that really impacted me was Silence of the Lamb.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
I
Do
still
you?
remember going to the theater. I was visiting because I was visiting my family in Colorado. I'm originally, a Coloradoan or whatever you say it, but I'm from Colorado, originally. And so I'm there visiting my family and my dad and everything. And so we're going to the theater. It's a big college town, and so we're going to the theater. And my dad and my stepmom, and it was like, oh yeah, well, you guys can watch Silence of the Lambs. So I went with my older stepsister, and man, I came out and I'm like, what the hell did I just watch? Kind of thing. And I could still remember like every single like scene in there, watching it, being like, what the fuck,
Do,
and stuff.
do you still put lotion on its skin?
Oh
Or
God. Yeah. One puts lotion on the body.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, then I get home, get back to the house, and I'm like, I'm looking at lotion in a very different way. I'm like, okay, yeah, yeah. So that was crazy. That was crazy. So
Worst lotion commercial ever.
right, one puts lotion on the body. Oh Lord. Okay, so Zachary Doramon, they changed the deal. Pray they don't alter it further. Right. Let's see here. First theater experience, Star Wars in 1977. First EU experience, Splinters of the Mind Eye. That's right, I'm old. That's okay. Wow.
Splinter of the Mind's Eye is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not canon, but back then it serves as a really good sequel to Star Wars,
Yeah.
which was what it was intended to be if Star Wars failed and they couldn't make Empire, right?
Yeah, that was the intention, because he wasn't sure, because he broke away from Hollywood and he didn't, everything that when he put together Star Wars, it was out of his pocket and out of like other like small or not small donations, but donations and what have you. And so basically George was an independent filmmaker. That's how he
Yeah.
was, and he even moved his company away from Hollywood to remain independent and away from the influence of Hollywood. So you see, and so when you look at Star Wars in the past, he moved them away to stay independent and not have the Hollywood influence. And we got these 6 wonderful movies that are timeless. And we got an amazing EU that ties in with the movies, fairly well or significantly well. And then now with the new company, the corporate, it's got huge Hollywood corporate influence. And so now we see the product very differently. And I'm saying that in very nice words. So that's just the difference. At the time, I thought it was good, not OT level or anything. Yeah, of course. I think everybody did think it was good at one point. They recognized that it was a New Hope 2.0 as well. And there was things that could have came out of it really well, but we know the story behind what happened with the second installment of their trilogy. All right, come for the Star Wars talk, stay for Stig's puns and jokes. Well, thank you, Terminus. How are you doing, and good morning, and what's in your mug? All right.
I'll try to make a pun or two just for you, Terminus.
Oh good, we have to have our goals, right? All right. My first horror at the theater was Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh, oh my God. I don't think I've ever seen them in the theater, but just watching them on TV or on VHS at home. We growing up, we like set up our total experience, and this is probably goes into Stig gameplay too. We set up our whole experience. So we make sure when we watch scary movies when I was growing up, me and the cousins, we would make sure it's like almost midnight, everything's dark. We have our blankets, we're all cuddled together, sit next to each other, and we put on the scary movie. So that's how we did Nightmare on Elm Street as well. We would sit down and we would absolutely wait until it was really dark outside and stuff, so we can get the full experience of it. Nighttime, very dark, all the drama with that goes with it. So
My first horror movie. Well, I guess Jaws is a horror movie.
yeah,
I'd argue that it's a drama horror movie, really.
yeah.
But yeah, I watched that when I was like 8 or 9,
Mm-hmm.
and I grew up on a small island, like the one in Jaws. And
Oh, so you had the soul experience as well.
oh yes, and there were tourists there, and I had to spend a lot of time in a small boat
Hmm.
right after I watched it. So I was
Yeah.
paying extra attention to what was beneath the boat.
Oh, wow.
It's
Yeah.
it it's pretty much if you watch Nightmare on Elm Street and then someone gives you a sleeping pill
Yeah.
afterwards. You don't really want to.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you before we move on back into Star Wars, because like I said, I'm not trying to stray away from Star Wars, but this is very interesting. Um, so one of our most scariest experiences watching Nightmare on Elm Street was again, it was late at night. Me and the cousins. I grew up with some of my cousins, and they're like more like my siblings and cousins. That's how close we are. Um, we put on Nightmare on Elm Street. We're watching him, and we're all getting into it. We're all scared, and we're all like, like just really feeling it, feeling the movie and scared and what have you. And all of a sudden, we hear this scratch, like going down the back window in one of the bedrooms, and we friggin' screamed our heads off. And the oldest cousin, he gets up and he jumps and he runs towards that bedroom and he comes out laughing at us because we're like almost in tears. We are frightened. We are scared out of our asses. Okay. And he comes in laughing and he goes, "It was our stupid cat was trying to get in, and it jumped and and it caught its claws on the screen and just started going down." I mean, it couldn't have happened even or any better than that, because we were at a pivotal moment, with a dramatic scene in it, and bam, the cat goes and tries to get in, loses ground, catches itself on the screen, and just kind of slides down with its claws going down the screen of the window. So I mean, that was classic.
Hmm.
That was classic. I still remember that in my head, and I still remember everything with that as well.
So everyone was catatonic.
They're very catatonic. Let's see here. All right. So that's the scary, a little bit of scary. Oh yeah, and you guys, I announced that once a month I'm going to do a question and answer kind of live stream segment. You know, for just to have fun with you guys on live stream, and then also too I'm doing a once a month Native American movie review, and so I'm putting my stuff together for that movie review. I already rewatched the movie that I'm reviewing, and it's called Skins, and no, it's not a porn, and it's called Skins, and
Does it have lotion on it?
no lotion.
No lotion on the skins.
No lotion on the skins. And so we'll be reviewing that one here pretty soon because I still got time in this month. So I still haven't decided which part of the month I'm going to, open up for those two things. Maybe one in the beginning and one at the end to kind of spread it out. I don't know yet. So, Zachary, I think it's time for Mara Jade. Luke earned it. Yeah. That's how The Last Jedi should be watched, like a horror movie. You make your voice well. So maybe he's talking to you, Stig. Ben the War. I know they're probably all talking amongst each other. Same with you and your cousins. Yeah. So my grandma, she raised me, but she was also the matriarch of our family. Very close, tight knit, Native family, and I'm pretty sure a lot of families can relate to this, being really close with each other and stuff. And one of my aunts, I call her my mom instead of my aunt because she also took me under her wings as one of her children. She has 4 kids, and so I'm her 5th one basically. And so we all grew up together, very very close. So I love it. No cancer jokes. They cause cancer. Okay, I don't know what that's about. Hey, Jim Marty. Hello there. The scariest thing I've seen on TV or movie is the COVID, or yeah, the 19 and the lack of leadership. Currently reading Children of the Jedi at the moment. Awesome. The Last Jedi shouldn't be watched at all. There are people who like it. I mean, what can I say? But yeah. Oh, thank you. Hi, Laura. Missed you on the Phantom Menace the other night. I'm reading Dynasty of Evil. Oh, this is a perfect segue. Okay. So, you guys, I do have. I know you said Dynasty of Evil, but I still have three of the books because I know Dynasty of Evil sounds like Labyrinth of Evil. But, anyways, I do have the three individuals books, but then I decided to crack down and get this. So this is the Dark Lord trilogy, and it's Labyrinth of Evil, Revenge of the Sith, and Dark Lord, Rise of Darth Vader. So it's all three novels in the book here. And look at there's no I bought this is very brand new and there's no Legends label on it. It doesn't mean it's not in the original EU. It's just that it was just fun seeing that there's no Legend banner on here.
That
So
was probably released before.
yeah. Yeah. So, and if you guys, I haven't fully finished, and I was telling this to Stig, I haven't fully finished reading Labyrinth of Evil. And during the time, there was just stuff going on that I just had to put the book down. From what I read of it so far, I really liked it. And it really shows like Anakin's transition, starting to see him go more dark. And
I've
from what I read so far,
I've read two of them. I've
yeah.
read the Revenge of the Sith and the Dark Lord one. Both
Yes.
are awesome.
Hmm.
I'd give them an 8 out of 10. All of but both of them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
excellent book.
Yeah.
You did you made a bargain, I think. Well, depending on how much you paid, of course.
Let me see here. What was the price? It was $22.
Well, that's not bad at all.
No, it's not. And yeah, so Labyrinth of Evil is really good from what I read of it so far. I have to catch up, and it's been a while since, like I said, I had to put down the book because things were happening in life, and things do happen in life, and that's the lesson is like you take care of things and you go back to where you were to pick up, where you were at, and so yeah, again, Revenge of the Sith is a very great read. I think it's better than the movie. I love Revenge of the Sith. The movie itself, that's my second favorite, and that's my first favorite in the PT trilogy. And then Dark Lord, Rise of Darth Vader is also a great read because we get to see Anakin or, Vader transitioning into that suit and how he feels about that suit and how it compromises him. And then him hunting down the Jedi and how he has to adapt his fighting stance. And there, there's also scenes in there or like you reads in there that, he even is on Alderaan and you see Bail Organa having to make sure that, Leia isn't discovered, and she's just a baby. She's just an infant during that time. And
Vader is looking for Leia in all the wrong places.
yes, and of course he doesn't suspect it because he thinks his wife and his child, because he only knew of one, and are dead, are gone, and but because Bail Organa knows the Jedi, and and I think even one part of the EU, Bell even says if I was force sensitive, I'd surely be a Jedi. Basically that's how much he respects the Jedi. So he knows, a lot about the Jedi and the force sensibility. So, that really scares him to have Vader go onto Alderaan, and he's searching for
Well,
one of the senators, right? Which one was it?
last time he was at the Jedi Temple, he had to bail.
He had what?
Last time he was at the Jedi Temple, he had to bail.
Yeah, he had to bail. Yes. Yeah, and so I forget which senator he was looking for, and so it has some remaining Jedi, and part of the story it like ends, not necessarily ends on Kashyyyk, but we have a really good duel on Kashyyyk with some of the remaining Jedi and stuff. So, and it really explains it goes further into about Obi-Wan changing the message to the Jedi so that they don't go back to the temple, and so it has all that tie-ins with Revenge of the Sith. But again, even if you look this up, all three of these, this is canon according to the movies in George Lucas era. So this is.
Remember when Vader actually hunted down and killed Jedi? That's something Disney has missed.
Oh yeah, right. I mean, you would think that they would have start expanding on it a little bit more, but I haven't been really fully getting into like the Darth Vader comics because I just didn't like the direction they were going with him.
He
Hi,
he
Supreme.
he, he
Huh?
tried to hunt down the Kanan and what's his name? Space Aladdin on
Oh,
Rebels.
okay.
But
Kanan and Ezra. Yeah.
yeah, but he just let them go so he could track them again, and then it didn't work. So
Hmm.
basically, he's an idiot.
Oh Lord, it wasn't as dramatic and as worthwhile as Dark Lord Rise of Darth Vader. Then
No.
okay, yeah, that's a shame. So Tracy says I just read Shadows of the Empire. Nice, and it was just so incredible. I wished they had made it into a movie. Wasn't George even considering making that into a movie at one point?
Oh yeah, because they did a video game, they did a soundtrack for it, they did a comic and a novel. So it was like a multimedia project thing.
Yes.
But that story would fit perfectly with Disney canon as well. But then they decided to do some stupid comics where Luke destroys a whole fleet of Star Destroyers by using the Force.
Yeah, I didn't
I
even
mean,
see that. I didn't catch up
no,
on that.
he could have needed that at Return of the Jedi, right?
Yeah.
That would have solved everything. But apparently he forgot it.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I am glad, I am glad that Shadows of the Empire remains in the EU, original EU.
Yeah, it fit perfectly between Empire and Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, and if they would have brought that back and put it in the new lore now, it still wouldn't justify Luke. I mean, that there would be a disconnect between Luke of then and Luke of their trilogy. So there'd be a huge disconnect. Still wouldn't make sense according to Luke's arc, because then you'd be thinking back. Luke was left this journal. Luke was left, in the journal how to make a lightsaber and other training techniques, even with dueling and stuff like that, but then how come we see him in this state now? And then plus, like in the journal, Luke was also left with some history of the Clone Wars and some knowledge of some of the significant people in the Clone Wars, and it still wouldn't make sense. It still wouldn't make sense to me, at least. I've been collecting Legends novels the past few months, so I got a little library going on. Nice. So where are you what era of Star Wars are you starting with? Are you just randomly buying? Or are you collecting one era at a time? Darth Megatron?
Also, eBay is your friend if you want to
Yeah.
collect all the EU books because you can get some real bargains on eBay.
Yeah. Yes. And Supreme Heretic. So Drew says, good morning, our morning Stig.
Hello, Drew. Hope you're well today.
Oh, Laura, you didn't read my Stig pun. Okay, let me find it then. I'm sorry. Let's see what Terminus said. Oh, is it way up here now? He's like, you didn't read my post. I'm sorry. I'm finding it right now. Let's see what brilliance you said. Let me see. All right, I have one just for you, Stig. Feeling ill? No worries. Laughter is a good medicine, and Stig is here to nurse you back to health. Ah, nice.
That message seems doctored somehow. I'll give you a six. I'll give you a 6 out of. Actually, I'll give you a 6 out of 10.
A sick out of 10.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys. All right. Does anyone remember why Prince Caesar wanted to destroy Vader, or how it happened? Something about his homeworld. Yeah, they do some kind of like testing on some kind of biochemical there, and it got out of hand. And so what they did is that they secluded just that city or that town where his family's from, as well as, and I'm going off the top of my head, I don't have the material in front of me. So and so when that testing or that bio test or experiment went wrong and basically destroyed that city and Caesar's family. and
Yeah, there was a
Vader
grudge
hid
going
it.
on.
Yeah, and so Vader hid the like what happened there. So that was kind of under the books a little bit. And Caesar wasn't on planet when that happened, so that's why he survived. He was the only sole survivor in his family. And once Caesar found out, he's like, I want revenge, but also Caesar wants to be like basically the second most powerful being in the galaxy. When you read it, he's like the first most powerful is the Emperor, then you have Vader, and then there's me. Well, we got to eliminate Vader, and so that's their little tug and war right there. And so he uses Luke as a pawn to try to destroy Luke because he realizes how important Luke is to Vader to have Vader basically destroyed either by Emperor or whatever, just to get him out of that second place of the second most powerful. So it's very interesting little banter between those two and the story. So Luke is the uncle I almost had. Nice. Let's see here. I started on the Thrawn trilogy half through Jedi Academy. Nice. So you're doing post Return of the Jedi. I think a lot of people, unless you start with the games and you go to like KOTOR or something, or some people even start with Shadows of Empire game and all that. But usually, like if you start with games, I find out like if it's KOTOR, then you start collecting all the material, all the reading material and stuff for that era. Me and like I said, I started after Return of the Jedi because of Luke Skywalker. So,
Yeah, if you want to play the old games, right?
yeah,
GOG.com is your best bet
yeah.
because you can all you do is you buy them, they get added to your library, then you download them and install them. You don't have to be
Mhm.
online to play them or anything. You don't have to use a client, and you can download them to any computer you want, even your friend's computer.
Mhm.
You buy it, you own it, and they
Yeah,
all work.
yeah. So Tracy said Vader made them sterile. In Shadows of the Empire, I thought they destroyed that, like basically nuked that,
Hmm.
and
Made
killed.
them sterile. What a ballsy move.
Mostly going to follow the Holy Trinity story from New Republic to Legacy. There you go. Then work my way back from the Old Republic era, and that's where I was mostly at. Oh, there goes my need claim. But anyways, um, that's where I was telling a lot of the lore, and then so now I went all the way back to the Old Republic, and we are getting into the Darth Bane trilogy, and Stig is on book 2, the Rule of Two, and I still have to put up the lore video for you guys regarding that novel. So, but it gives us more information on how the Rule of Two happens, and more light to the characters back in that time frame, and that's like what um is it like is it like 3,000 BBY or something like that, or 1,000 BBY, that time frame, I forget.
I thought it was 5,000 years before episode 1.
I don't know. Let me look. I have the source book, and let's see here. I'll tell you right now if it lets me. Let's see here. Oh, you don't have the date here. Usually they do. Okay, yeah, here it is. Timeline placement 1003 to 980 BBY. So
For
yeah.
Knights of the Old Republic?
Yeah.
Hmm.
For
My bad.
Darth Bane. For Darth Bane.
Oh
Not
yeah, yeah, that's a few hundred years after the KOTOR stuff, right?
yeah.
Or is it 1,000?
Well, it said that this time frame for Darth Bane is 1003 to 980 BBY.
How long ago was the Revan book though? Does it say that?
Yeah, I'll look it up. And
Because the Revan book is the KOTOR game era.
yeah, and I just recently had a debate on this book on Twitter with people because of people are like, well, if Pablo written it, then I don't want nothing to do with it. This is probably the only thing that I will ever give this man credit for. And the reason why I would give him credit is because he went ahead and comprised all the novels, even like the children's stories and all of that, in a coherent timeline to show that they are basically all coherent with each other. Even though his own story now, he would say the EU is out of order, blah 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 blah. He went ahead and he put all the novels together in summary, and even gives the worlds visited, the main characters, where they are in the timeline, when the book novels was written, and even clips about behind the scenes, even with George Lucas interaction. So
So
this,
it was Paulo Hidalgo's job to keep the EU in order, and now he's saying that it was never in order. Basically,
Mhm.
he did a
Yeah.
shit job.
Yeah. Well, he did a really good job. I think that he's just towing the line. He's one of those, and or just wants to
Oh
be an
yeah.
ass.
No,
So
I'm thinking he's saying exactly what the story group wants him to say,
yeah, yeah.
because he completely shifted as soon as Disney bought Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly. And we eventually see even Leland shift, like in 2018. Um, he went back and said, "Oh well, really, the EU was never canon."
Yeah, even though he said it was canon for
Yeah,
decades.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but okay, so Revan is um 3,954 to 3,950 BBY. So that's Revan. And see, this is why I like these books here, because are this reader's companion, because you have all the information in front of you. So if you're still collecting, you're not, or even if you're not collecting, get this. But if you're still collecting all your library for the original EU, this is a great reader's companion. I would get this, and then you can go and read the summaries on this as well and think, oh crap, and know exactly which order they are placed in, even though they have the timeline in the books now. This also gives you this is also another bit of proof with the story summaries and everything in here about the books. It doesn't have comics though. It doesn't have the comics and the games and stuff, but whatever book is tied with the games, you have kind of an idea where they fall anyways. So yeah. So I suggest get it, though. This is like a the binding though is kind of, for my book, was kind of bad a little bit. So it's coming apart a little bit. But you have all the great stories in here. It's amazing. And again, it doesn't have the comics in here, so you don't get legacy comics. So you get all the way to the last novel. There's only like 3 novels from my experience that are missing. One is Kenobi, but it's just because those books, like the 3 that are missing, are ones that were published after this was published. So, and of course, we're not going to have an update with that. All right, let's see what's going on here. We have 29 people. Thank you guys so much for coming in and joining, and I'm happy to be back. And I have my partner in crime here, Stig. I invited him to come back in. He's always fun to have online to talk the EU. So yeah, so I'm going to ask this question now to everybody, and this will also go with you, Stig, if you want to answer. So who is your favorite EU character out of the novels? Like, who really hi, Abu Nas. Hi. Who is like, who were you significantly like drawn to, or you like, or so go ahead and share in the comics, and Stig, you go ahead and tell us a little bit more about who is your favorite character in the EU. It's so expansive. You can probably give maybe Couture or Old Republic, classical era, PT era. Classical is basically the OT era, or the post Return of the Jedi era. So if you want to. So go ahead.
Well, I always liked Call Katarn, but
Mm-hmm.
he showed up in a video game first, though, so I'm not sure if he counts, because they added him to novels and stuff afterwards. But yeah, I always liked Call Katarn.
Mm-hmm.
As for the novels, Mora Jade was always fun. I wouldn't say she was the best character. She was
Oh, wrong
at
one.
times borderline Mary Sue,
Yeah.
but every time she was in a book, that book was always entertaining. It
Mm-hmm.
was always, oh, it was always fun when Mara Jade was in a story.
Yeah. Yeah. She was quite a character. She had some good she had some good quality character,
Yeah,
no
she
nonsense
kind
and
of made the story and the other characters better because she played off well against all the others.
yeah.
So I guess she was like a very good catalyst for stories
Yeah.
in terms of entertainment. She was like a entertainment injection, and it worked.
Yeah, she was really well written, and she was like almost like an every character, like everybody character, where she not only like enhanced like her the writing on her story herself, her character arc, not only enhanced her, but also enhanced everybody around her.
Yeah,
Okay, let's see here.
that's just my take on it, though.
Okay, and do you have any more?
Um, I guess Boba Fett
Okay.
was fleshed out a hell of a lot in the EU.
Yeah.
He's actually more of an EU character than an OT character, really,
Yeah.
because in the OT he just says a couple of lines and then he
Yeah.
falls into the pit. But he's a full blown character in the EU, so he was always fun to read about. Um,
Yeah. It's hard, right? Such a hard.
yeah, because I keep getting my mind keeps getting dragged back to the comics.
Yeah, and that's fine. The comics is EU too. I mean,
Yeah,
even
but I
the
thought you
S
specified
canon
the
one
book.
is still EU. Yeah.
Well, okay. Ayla Sakura was
Okay.
awesome in the old Clone Wars comics. Those
Yeah.
were gritty as heck. She was really cool. Ventress was awesome in them.
Yeah.
She was never a Night Sister in the Lucas canon until Filoni fucked it up.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, there's so many. Oh yeah, Darth Talon because she is to be my wife.
She used to be your wife, huh? What
Yeah,
happened with that Stig?
she's gonna. Yeah, I need to find myself a Darth Talon.
Okay.
I'm gonna name her Darth Shag.
Darth Shag. You're just gonna be a busy man. We're never gonna see you anymore.
Nope.
Nope. You're like, nope.
Oh,
Yeah.
Darth Kreia
Oh,
from the second KOTOR game
yeah.
is a villain. I'd say is on par almost with Palpatine. She's tremendously well written. It's
Yeah.
one of those strong female characters that didn't exist in Star Wars, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, well, when you play the second KOTOR game, you'll find out it's the game is worth it for her alone.
Yeah. I still haven't even started playing Couture yet. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. Um, maybe I'll once I decide to, maybe I'll do a couple of live streams. I don't want to really go onto another platform to do gaming. I barely have time for my YouTube and regular life, and so if I do, I will stream it on YouTube.
You know, if you want to play that game and stuff, for the first time, just play it and enjoy it by yourself.
Yeah,
As use it as some time off.
true. That's another good way. I mean, I was a big gamer growing up until life happens, and I got into dance, and so I have a very creative life. So most of you guys know that I'm an artist, and of course, you could see back there. And I guess I'm a jack of all or jack of trade of all arts. I come from a family that is very has musicality. So I most of my life I've been in a choir in school. So I sing.
So it's
Uh,
an acquired taste.
Yes, acquired taste. And then I also got into band, so I played the clarinet. My grandfather basically owned his own music shop, and that I picked up pretty easy as well. And then I got into dance, and so I was on a dance team in school. And then I loved dancing as well, and grew up, dancing powwow natives dance, and started teaching it for over 15 years. Um,
Swinging in the rain.
well, no swinging though, no swinging, but that's fun. But yeah, I get what you're saying, and then I also loved, and this I'm telling my age, is that when our friends got together, we would have house parties and dance, and we would have dance offs, and I usually won those. That's because it's just me, and there would be times that I would go and dance, go to a friend's house, and they're like, "Hey, I found this cool song, let's get put to some choreography to it." And so we would sit and go into the garage, turn on the big fans or whatever, and sit, or not sit, and really get in and explore the choreography to the song and stuff. I mean, that's just who I am and stuff. And so yeah, yeah. All right. So Soul Assassin. Hi, Soul Assassin. How are you doing? Revan was, after playing Kotor, I wanted to learn more about the Old Republic. Yes. And that's what Kotor really opened up everybody to the Old Republic. It really opened up the Old Republic. So, and there was like, if there was no buyout, there'd probably be still more stories coming out for that, because there was so much to expand on during that time.
Yeah, BioWare did superb work with KOTOR.
Hmm.
And it was the first Star Wars role playing game, I believe,
Yeah.
um, on the PC anyway.
Yeah.
Not-
I miss Dirge. He was cool. It helps that Zahn is a good writer who respect and loved Star Wars, unlike the hacks like RJ.
Well, Zahn is a hack himself now.
He's one that towed the line too.
Yeah, he was telling the fans that Disney would never scrap the EU because that would disrespect all the writers that have
Yes, I gotta
worked.
pull that interview up. Yes, go
Yeah,
ahead.
that all the writers that have worked so hard on the EU and they deserved all the credit and blah blah
Yeah,
blah. And then as soon as Disney scraps the EU and asks him to write Thrawn 2.0, he's all for it.
yeah, yeah. And even Lillian, she was like, we can't do a disservice to all these writers and stuff. But it was out of their control, and even like Bob Iger was saying that the ones that make the ultimate decision is Disney, and they decided to say, what, we want our own stories. We're not going to use what George gave us, even in the novels. So
Karen Travis is the only one of them that had integrity.
yeah,
She quit. She quit when they started fucking up all that stuff.
yeah. She's like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And I have all her script or her blog. And so I want to do some series of that for my channel as well. Because I really love Boba Fett. I really love the Mandalorian culture. No, I didn't really geek out as a lot of people have, but I respect it. I love it. I love the brilliance she put into it. She created a new language with it. All of
Oh
that.
yeah, she did a hell of a lot of job work
Yeah.
on the clones and the Mandalorians.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I have, like I said, I have so much ideas for the channel with the original EU, and there's so much. It's like I have never ending material right now, but it's going to take a while. It's going to take a while. So everybody be patient with me. I have all these ideas and all this wonderful stuff. And, some things got put to the side, and I will go back and touch bases on them, like the feminine hero's journey with Leia, yes, and then getting into the hero's journey with Luke. Those are still being continued, just they're simmering in the back burner right now and stuff. But I think it's very important to show that during George Lucas's time, his development with even Leia was not to make the men look bad. It was to make the women look like they're capable of working side by side with the men and still having a friendship relationship and even that banter and stuff, and they can hold their own without destroying another character. So yeah, so I think it's very significant that doing these series that I've been doing to show that. So, oh, I was a choir boy myself. Nice. Good one, Stig. Okay, Jedi Master Sensei Sak. I'm probably gonna. I usually butcher these until I hear their name on Audible or whatever. So, Sakaguchi. Cello for me, nice.
Cello there.
Yeah, Couture 2 is basically what the Last Jedi wanted to be a bit better. Couture 2 basically what the Last Jedi wanted to be a bit better. Okay, so you're saying that they wanted to be like Couture 2, the Last Jedi? Is that what you're trying to say?
I don't know.
You're like, I have no idea. Let's see here. Let me catch up on these chats here. House Party, remember that movie? Oh yeah, oh yes, I do too. That was fun. Dad Strong, that must be to Abu. I like her. Let's see here. I love you, Ben. I want to hug you, big guy. Ben Swallow. Adam Darkrender would be amazing. I don't know what's going on in this chats. I'm just reading them. We'll never know if Ben ever gets with Vistara Kai. And I have my theories. I don't think they ever got together, but some people think they did. So what do you think, Stig, with Ben Skywalker and Vistara Kai?
50-50 about it.
Yeah.
I think it might have been resolved in the canceled Sword of the Jedi trilogy.
Oh yeah? I don't think it was.
I think it would have been resolved in that canceled trilogy.
Yeah. Yeah, I see it differently. I don't think it was resolved, and I don't think anything fruition from them. And I think that the Skywalkers that we see, like Banta and Cole or whatever, they aren't from Vistara. That Ben found someone else, but I mean, we don't know, and I wish we could have gotten those stories. I wish we could have. That would have been amazing to see that missing link between the Fells and the Skywalkers. And we all know who created them. We all know who they came from. But just to see those missing links in the family tree would be so interesting. So let's see here. Karen Travis, I meant. Oh, where we see? Did I miss something? Okay. Let's see here. Awake and alive. Yeah, that's all we could be right now is awake and alive. All right. Hi, Jamie. How you doing? Couture2 asked interesting questions about the nature of the Force, just like the Last Jedi tries to do when the Last Jedi fails, Couture succeeds. So
wasn't KOTOR 2 written by Drew Carpenter, who wrote the Bane trilogy?
I think so.
I'll Google it.
Okay, I think so. I think that the Last Jedi was deconstructing and making the Jedi look like they were failures more than anything else. I don't think that they were failures. I just think that they were manipulated, and Palpatine really had his hand in every corner of the galaxy, and that the Jedi played right into his hands. Doesn't mean that they're failures. They acted like they're supposed to as Jedi on maintaining and fighting for peace. And so when these two wars started happening, they took the side that they felt that was, I guess you could say, right to maintain peace and stuff. And so they fell right into Palpatine's hand. Yeah, there was a few things that they need to change with their code within their own order, but doesn't mean that they're failures. It just means that they needed to grow out of that. So
yeah, they're correcting me in the chat, and correctly so. It was Chris Avellone.
Was it?
Well, yeah, and he's a superb writer.
Okay. You're like, never mind. Thank you, you guys. Porkins is a hero we deserve. Really, Porkins?
Hey, Crutches, the old developer team for KOTOR 2 released all the incomplete stuff, or rather, they completed the incomplete stuff in a mod that you can get for free.
Oh, you know what? I heard something about that because I think I've seen someone on Twitter saying, "Wow, I have this now on here."
Yeah, it's you get the they cut a whole planet from the released game.
Yeah.
So you get that added through a mod now, and there's no more dead ends, I think, because the original game has a lot of dead end because it wasn't finished. But now it is, and you can install it onto your KOTOR 2 copy.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Well, hello there, Matt Wilkins.
Hey. Hi, Matt. How you doing? Nice to have you in here. Finally getting my coffee chat back on track. And so I always ask, what is in your mug? What are you drinking? What type of calf are you drinking? Or do you have something else that you're enjoying? All right. Let's see here. I hate what they did to Luke. I would never accept Disney's trilogy. And you know what? Go, like I said, there are people that love it. Then there are people that don't. Go where your heart is at. My heart is always with George Lucas era of Star Wars and stuff. And so, like I said, and some of you guys know that I've never really collected comics growing up. And so now I'm going and collecting as much as I can to expand my my library. So this is the newest one I added right here. And this is volume 2. I need to get volume 1. I picked this one up at Barnes and Nobles, so they didn't have volume 1, so I have to go online and order. So this is pretty cool. I mean, Stig was talking about this before we came online onto the stream. And I'm an artist, and so I get really caught up into some of the art in here. So, but this was very interesting. So we have, and all these are in order. So we have this beautiful comic artwork here. And as you go along, it's really gorgeous, very bright colors, very compelling colors. And then we get back into the past comical state of comics here. So in here, you go from beautiful comic artwork, then towards the end, the last couple of series in here are volumes. You have these
Yeah.
ones.
I think the last ones in that one are some kids comics.
Yeah, and they're
You
all
can
in
see
order.
you can see at the beginning of the book which comics that are included.
Yeah. Let me see here. I'll see right now. And it has everything in here. Let's see here. Yeah, so the Rebellion comic are volume 2. So we had, so it has Star Wars Kids. Let's see, where does it start at? Yeah, so it has Star Wars Kids number 1 all the way to number 20. So in here. So it goes from the Rebel Thief Part 1, and then it goes all the way through its own timeline of comics to the Death Star Pirates Part 5. So so we have that going on here. So that's very interesting to see, like, the difference in how these were illustrated between, I guess you could say, the mature adult comics, maybe, if you want to call it that, to the kids.
I think volume 3 has a lot of Boba Fett in it.
Yeah.
If
So
I'm not
there you go, you guys. So start collecting. If you haven't had a chance to, start collecting your comics. I was never a huge comic reader growing up, and so knowing the value of getting all these in my library now, I am like rushing. And then so I've been really enjoying. So I think I have a newfound love and respect for comics now. And so I've been really sitting back enjoying these stories and the artwork and stuff. Sometimes it takes a while before someone gets to, explores further and gets out of their own mindset to really, expand on new material and stuff. I mean, I'm not saying I was a book snob, but I just love sitting and reading, just like reading. So, yeah. Let's see here. Let's catch up on these chats here. The sequel robbed the Skywalker's legacy and success and gave it to Mary Sue Palpatine. Oh yeah, I mean, let's see here. The legacy comics are awesome. Yes, so I'm just waiting on volume 3. And so now it says July 21st, I believe. So anytime now I should be getting that, should be sent out.
Well, it's you might not get it
Why
because
is that?
it seems to be not released. Because it says on the UK Amazon, right, that it
Uh-huh.
should have been released in May or something, and then it
Yeah.
changed to June something, and it's still currently unavailable. So I'm
Yeah,
thinking it's maybe COVID related that everything has been pushed back.
maybe
But
it could be that. Go ahead.
but then someone told me that the Marvel comic distributor
Yeah.
went belly up because Marvel comics weren't selling well, and so if that's the same distributor, maybe we are not getting those comics.
Yeah. I think it's still going to be released. I think it's done. I just so far the date hasn't changed on my end for that comic. So let's just hope. Let's hope. Um, if not, then I'll be searching for those comics individually and hopefully finding a fair price on them. So, Matt Wilkins, do you have a favorite comic book artist? Not just yet. Like I said, I never really fully explored the comics growing up, so I can't really say I do right now. But Stig, do you?
If I do what have a, I think his name was Ernie Chan. He did the old Conan comics, the black
Oh,
and white ones. So yeah, if yeah, that it's the only one I know. So I'm gonna go with him. But those old Conan, black and white comics were awesome.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I'm playing catch up with the comic stuff. So everybody in the comic world, you have a new comic nerd in your realms now. I heard a rumor Stig sings karaoke on Thursdays. Is that true? Stig,
No, I don't even sing in the shower.
that's too bad. I would love to hear your singing voice, Stig.
No, you would not.
Really? Okay. You're like, no, we're not going there. We're not going there. All right. Brian Ching and Jan Dursima and our god tier. Okay. Scarlet mutants. Mutants everywhere. Let's see here. I wish they released a collection of the Clone Wars adventure comics.
I think
Don't
they
they?
might have.
I think they do. They do. I'm still collecting the Clone Wars omnibus, and the volume one is really expensive right now to get. Really expensive.
Yeah, yeah. They're. I'm glad I bought them when they were being released.
Yeah, you're like, I'm glad I stayed on top of my game and did just bought
Yeah,
them.
yeah. I have like 20 of those omnibuses.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so I'm like I said, I'm collecting and all that. So if any one of you guys, and I'm putting this out there, if any one of you guys finds the Clone Wars Omnibus Volume One for a really cheap price, because I think I seen one for 99 and then also one for like over $100. Let me know because I would jump on that. I need to add that to my collection, but I just don't want to invest the money if I don't need to, like that much price. But
Yeah, it's not worth $100. It
Mhm.
really isn't. But you could check the UK Amazon site. They might have some of them.
Okay, send me a link if you haven't, or like the UK Amazon. Never mind. Let's see
Yeah.
something else. Let's see here. Stig, favorite Star Wars comic story. There you go, Stig. What's your favorite?
Hmm. Uh, I liked the Republic and Clone Wars stories.
Mm,
That I think it was Dark Horse that did them. They're in between the prequels.
yeah.
Basically, it's a lot of Ayla Secura and Quinlan Voss,
Hmm.
a lot of Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
So those I have fond memories of. I remember really liking the Crimson Empire about the Imperial Guards. That was
Yeah.
awesome. And of course, the Legacy series is awesome.
Hmm. Now, my first comics that I got into with Star Wars is the Legacy comics, and so that kind of sparked my interest a little bit more for the comics as well. But then, and so I'm like I said, this artist in me has now found a newfound respect for collecting the comics, reading them, and stuff. Yeah, so
Yeah,
you,
they're just as good as the novels, really.
yeah, they are. Yeah, and I just for whatever reason I can't really tell why. I just really just didn't get into comics growing up, and so I'm a very late bloomer. So
Yeah, these are the old Star Wars books and the old Conan comics. That's
yeah,
pretty much the only comics I read.
yeah. All right, Darth Megatron. Do you know if Mara Jade's Emperor's Hand comic is any of the newer Epic collections? In any of the,
Yes,
yeah,
yes, I think it is in the first New Republic volume.
yeah. I think they're trying to comprise them all together as a selling point as well. So yeah, excuse me, Dark Horse stories were good. Matt Wilkins, Marvel should really reprint a lot of those old Star Wars stories. Sad they cost so much to the EU collector. Yes, they do.
Yeah, they run out of print so fast, those omnibuses.
Hmm.
So as soon as they run out of print, people charge an arm and a leg for them on eBay.
Yeah. Okay, Matt Wilkins. But I hear Stig is super rich. He can hook you up.
No, 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 I'm not super rich.
Sugar Daddy Stig. Ah. Oh, you're sugar daddy, huh, Stig?
No,
About you
the
all the time.
the reason why I have those omnibuses and stuff is because I'm terrible with money. I make Star Wars shit a priority over food.
You're like, I starve for Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars.
Starve Wars. There you go. Darth Dystopian. Hello, hello. My favorite is Darth Maul, the Phantom Menace prequel, the one where he kills the entire Black Sun organization.
Oh yeah, that's a comic that fits in well inside of Darth Plagueis.
Hmm.
It's one of those stories that you feel is left out when you're reading Plagueis because Maul returns from having killed a bunch of Black Sun people,
Yeah,
and so that bit is in a comic about Maul, and it's awesome. He just terminates them. Really,
yeah,
he shows up and wipes the floor with a bunch of kick-ass gangsters. And then Filoni got a hold of Maul, and then he just fails at everything.
yeah. We won't go down that path right now, though. We're having fun here.
And
So
that's the
we're
path of destruction.
yeah, it's a path of destruction right there. So yeah, so again, so you I'm collecting all these. So again, if you find like I can't even talk. I'm losing my voice. What the hell's going on here?
Omnibus. Sorry, I'm just practicing my force choke.
I know, right? Stig is over here force choking me.
Yeah, not good at it.
You still got
Just
a lot to learn because I'm
yeah,
surviving. I'm pushing through this. Yeah, so I am collecting in. So that volume one, if you got again, people out there, if you find it for a cheaper price, let me know. Message me on Twitter. So all right. So today's focus was basically just EU chat, catching up with all you wonderful people since I haven't been on my normal schedule. And so look out for the lore review on Rule of Two. That'll be coming out. Um, and then we'll go back to schedule for coffee chat this Thursday again. catch up, and we'll keep up on talking about the wonderful EU, and we'll come up with more topics to expand on. And for those who are coming in before we close out here, I did ask earlier, who is your favorite EU character? I know it's very, especially if you're well versed in the EU, it's very hard to decide. So you can, share with like each era of Star Wars, like the Old Republic, the prequel trilogy, the classical era, the New Republic era, going into, New Jedi Order. Share with me before, and I'll share with everybody else on who your favorite character is or in the EU. And let's see, Kip Duran. There you go. A man with
What?
taste.
Kip was an emo.
He was pretty cool. He's a pretty cool guy. I mean, I like his arc and how he transitions into like even Legacy of the Force. So yeah. Apparently being angry is enough to keep your skull from cracking on the concrete. I have no idea what that's about. There was one oh okay. I'm reading backwards in the chat. Okay. There was one where Vader fought a clone of Maul.
I think that was one of the Infinite stories.
Yeah, that was the infinite. Yeah.
It's basically a what if thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. Love Kenobi. There you go.
He's probably
Maul
talking about Alec Guinness.
Yeah. And Maul surviving. Stig, I plan to turn you around on the Jedi Academy trilogy. Oh, he might.
Okay, yeah, sure. It costs $500. Send them a note. Turn around.
There will be fees attached to that, Matt. There will be fees attached to that. I liked the Jedi Academy trilogy. I do. I like the story behind that.
No, I don't mind you being wrong.
Yeah, yeah. I don't mind you being wrong either. That's why I have you here. We have to have opposing, thoughts and stuff as well. Yeah.
Well, to be fair though, in that trilogy, Wedge slept with a bird. I mean, come on.
You rebel scum.
Okay. That's how I feel about you right now.
Well, Wedge did sleep with a bird lady. He shagged a bird in that trilogy.
But you know what? It shows that, there was diversity and inclusion and that other species can, interact. There's nothing wrong with that. Quit being xenophobic, Stig.
Don't shag a chicken, people. Don't do that. Even though Wedge did it.
There's nothing wrong. Sugar Daddy Stig asking them dollars to dance, laugh out loud. That is on your case today, Stig. He's on ya.
Yeah, he's been on me for quite a while.
Good. Keep at it, Matt. Keep at it.
He was on me for not having read the original Solo trilogy.
The Daily, Brian Daly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I actually took that to heart, and I read one of them so far.
Okay.
And it was very good.
It is.
It was at Star's End. I read that one.
Mm-hmm.
Awesomely retro.
Yeah.
And it could fit with any canon, actually, as a little side story. Yeah. 8 out of 10 for that one.
Nice. And I can't wait to review that and then compare both solo trilogies. I can't wait to do that. But AC Crispin does honor Daly with when she wrote that to make sure that there is nothing that really contradicts it, and she left room open for the stories that happened in those trilogies to coincide with the newer trilogy, I guess you could say. So it was pretty cool.
Here's a riddle for you. Who came first?
Okay.
Who came first, the chicken or the egg? It was Wedge.
I almost spit out my coffee. Oh my god. Okay, so my show went from like PG to like rated R and like 2.0. Let's see. Does the Jedi Academy truly have Jaden Core?
No. Mm-mm. That's the Jedi Academy game, which is awesome.
Yeah. Hey, if you're going to get with someone in Star Wars, it's got to be a crazy looking alien. Wedge wasn't prejudiced. No, he wasn't. Speaking of chickens, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Of course. That's the debate right there. Which came first? Who came? What came first? Nim, leader of the Karthak pirates in the two Starfighter games, was great. Not most favorite, but nobody talks about him. So, gamer here, Stig, do you recall and what do you think?
I have not played them.
Oh, yeah, I can't answer that because I haven't really. I used to be a gamer a long time ago, but not. Like I said, I shit happens, but so I can't really answer that one either. Yeah, so I thought maybe because you could, Stig, because you have more gaming experience than I do when it comes to Star Wars.
Now I've beaten most of them, I guess, but I haven't played the Starfighter games.
Yeah.
Matt Wilkins is gonna get on my ass for that one too, I'm sure.
Well, he's right here. So, Matt, do what you need to do. So, Crispin was great. I attended her fan memorial service at Dragon Con. Nice. I remember that. Kevin J. Anderson had some great stories to share about her. Oh my God. Matt, I seriously need to get you on my channel so we can discuss all of that. That is amazing. Soul Assassin, why did the chicken cross the road? Because Wedge was on the other side. Right on.
So someone gave the chicken a wedgie.
Holy shit. Okay, Matt Wilkins, Stig, I don't think you can knock being with a bird chicken until you tried it.
I live next to a park which has a bunch of ducks in it and a swan. I'm not gonna try it.
These are humanoid type species, so
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna.
it's not actually like a waddling chicken, kind of deal.
No, she was birding off that one.
Have imaginations. Quit being so uptight, Stig.
Kind of gives a new meaning to ruffle her feathers, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, doesn't it? It does. Yeah, let's see here. Okay. I remember Galactic Battlegrounds.
Yes, strategy game.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, I've missed an interesting conversation about Wedge. Trayla, hello, how are you doing? Yes, we were talking about Wedge having an affair with a species, a bird type species in Star Wars.
No, that was a humanoid bird. Wedge slept with Big Bird, really.
A very beautiful big bird. Yeah, and that's in the Jedi Academy. So, hi, Legends Gal. Hello. This is a question for you and Stig. What's better, prequels or the originals? And we were discussing earlier when we first came on. We were discussing like which movie did we start off with within Star Wars and with the OT and stuff. So, Stig, go ahead and answer that. What do you think is better, the prequels or the originals? Or do you think they're equally the same?
Well, they're all part of the same story. But if I had to pick one trilogy, I'd pick the original trilogy 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
But I also like the prequels a lot. So
yeah, I love the prequels. I love the storyline in there. Revenge of the Sith is my second favorite. First in the prequel trilogies. However, I do love the OT. But of course, the OT is what mostly got everybody into Star Wars, whether they stayed within the movie part of the franchise or they went into the expanded universe and stayed there or whatever. Star Wars, basically the OT is the starting ground, I guess you could say the grail of Star Wars there. And so my favorite out of the OT though, again, is Return of the Jedi. And I just love all of the arc within Return of the Jedi, and Return of the Jedi is what got me into the EU. And I relatively stay in the EU. I love the stories in there. I love everything in there. So Darth and Megatron, yeah, even my steel hide tangles with flesh creatures every now and then. Very interesting. Thanks for sharing that, sir. So let's
Ro-
ask.
Robocock. Sorry.
I know that. I know that. So, bird brain. Yeah, you bird brain. Yeah, I remember her. She was a blue. She was the blue thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Thing being the key word.
Yeah. Let's see here. Stig, I need a babysitter for tomorrow night. How are you with twin girls?
I'm actually a very good babysitter. I babysit my nephews a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Had one of them play Doom when he was 6. He still wants to come back and play Doom.
Nice. Revenge of the Sith is second favorite after Empire. It is so underrated. Anakin's fall is wonderfully done. And yes, again, if you guys are just joining, I have all 3 of the books, and then so I went ahead and invested this into this right here. Look how thick it is. It's beautiful. Look at that. Yeah. So here you go. So here's the Dark Lord trilogy. I suggest either getting all 3 books, Labyrinth of Evil, Revenge of the Sith, and Dark Lord, Rise of Darth Vader, or even this, or a combination of all of them. So the novel is really well done for Revenge of the Sith. The prequels used to be meh for me, but the Clone Wars made the prequels my favorite trilogy because it enhanced my love for that trilogy. I have mixed feelings about the Clone Wars, so I wouldn't say it enhanced my respect for the prequels. My respect for the prequels was always there, and yeah. So I'll leave it at that. So, what about you, Stig?
I think the Clone Wars contradicts the prequel trilogy.
Mm-hmm. There's a portion in there, and there's some stories in the Clone Wars that contradicts even Revenge of the Sith. So, but that's for another tale to tell.
It's okay to like them though.
Exactly. That's not the thing. I'm not saying, oh well, you can't like them anymore. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that. For me,
Same,
I
it's
huh?
it's okay to have a fever as well.
Because your body's getting rid of some bad stuff. Oh damn, Stig, you're full of it. All right, Apollo Patriot, Hail Geek Mythology. Yes. All right. So the Lord of the Twi'leks has returned. So I don't know what you're expanding on. Or are you calling that Stig? He's the Lord of the Twi'leks.
I don't know. I haven't done anything to the Twi'leks.
Not yet, at least. All right, Tracy. I'm an OT girl myself. New Hope will always be my favorite Star Wars movie. I will never forget how I felt seeing it for the first time. Yes, there's a lot. I mean, that was the awe factor, of everything. So, because it was groundbreaking, and I understand.
My favorite Star Wars movie is the first half of A New Hope.
The first half.
Yeah, when they're on Tatooine.
Oh.
That's always my fondest Star Wars memories is
Uh-huh.
from that half of the movie.
About half of the movie, and then you were done.
No, it's just that I didn't like the stuff at the Death Star that much. I liked it, but it was all the Tatooine stuff. Kenobi telling Luke about the Force, and you get the
The
binary
story
sunsets.
building, the world building, right?
Yeah,
Then
yeah, and then
yeah,
the binary sunset scene.
yeah. Oh yeah, that right there. That's my most favorite scene of the movies. Is that? So I like the Dark Lord trilogy. Palpatine becoming the Emperor, acting more dictatorial in each book. Yes, and I think that's a lot of things that is not even expanded on or is taken away in Palpatine's story in the new lore. Apollo has a thing for Twi'leks. Oh, okay. Gindie Clone Wars for me. Yes. That right there, I think is very underrated. I love Gindy's Clone Wars as well. So, all right, you guys, it is after we've been on here for an hour and a half. I have to get going here, and you guys were amazing. Thank you for coming in and just geeking out, chatting about the original EU, um, and expanding on our favorite movies in the OTE and our favorite characters. I really didn't give mine. I just now realized that. I was just excited to hear all your guys's. Um, Let me see. So, Old Republic. I don't know yet. I'm kind of stuck on a few characters. Um, I do like Bane creating the rule too, and that his story in that arc. Um, but I really don't have a set favorite. I think a lot of their stories, I wish I could see expanded more, but we're not going to see that. Hopefully, maybe in the near future, maybe. Um, let's see here. PT. Obi-Wan.
Thank you,
Um,
darling.
and of course, in the classical era, and this is not only with the movies but with the classical era, like EU is Luke, and then going into further into it, Jaina Solo. I do like to hear Vela, and I just she has such a tragic story.
Oh shit, I forgot about Jaina Solo when you asked me
Hmm.
earlier. I
Yeah,
like her better than Mara Jade.
yeah. Mara Jade is I love her character arc and stuff. But Jaina, I she too is very compelling, seeing her character arc as well with her brother and what's going on in the new Jedi Order and all that. I do like Kip Duran's arc from when we first meet him on, because he's so roguish, I guess you can say. Kyle Katarn. Um, it's very hard because each one of them has their own development and has a significant role in the story. Corn Horn I like because he's the Jedi that he shares and shows us in the EU that Jedi, they're not all created equal, and they all don't have the same strength in the Force. So that's what I like about him, is that it shows that you every Jedi has their own strength and weaknesses and can harness the Force in different ways. Um,
You see that a lot in Saint Carrick as well in the Old Republic comics.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I think that's what the new lore is missing, is because now everybody can do anything
Yeah,
equally.
Zane is almost too weak to become a Jedi because
Hmm.
he's not a strong Force user at all. But
Yeah,
he makes do with the
yeah.
help of friends, which is the heart of Star Wars. Really, can't do
Hmm.
everything yourself.
Exactly. And that even goes with Tion Salazar, because she wasn't that strong either. She eventually becomes a master, but she's also the historian. So that's her. How we find out in the order. There's different like sections of the Jedi Order where you can specialize in, and so she's the historian, and helps train as well, because we even see her training at the academy in Legacy of the Force as well. Yeah, so again, I think that's what I love about the classic Star Wars lore, is that not everybody has the same abilities. Um, and not everybody is meant to all be fighting, like knighted masters. Some of them are, and they all train in lightsaber dueling. That's a part of who they are, but they also have significant other roles. Like we have Siegel. Is it Siegel? Yeah, Siegel, who is the healer. And so she's like, she is a part of that sect of the Jedi Order and stuff. So I think it's all just very compelling how everybody has a certain ability and a certain trait that expands on their character even more. Okay, Darth Megatron, no Stig. It's all about chicken that sent the Death Star plans to the rebels. Got nothing to do with teamwork. I don't know. That was to you, Stig.
No, he's probably referencing Disney.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know.
You're like, I don't know. New Jedi Order is my favorite, I think. Reading Legacy of the Force now, but some are a bit of a slog. Really? Like, okay, what book are you on? I know I said we're going to get going, and I'm still going. But so what book are you on? There's a couple that kind of slow down a little bit, but
explain yourself, Trayla.
I know, Trayla. What novel are you on? I'm curious now, and then we'll conclude this coffee chat. I am very much Legacy.
We're waiting, Trayla. Everyone's looking at you.
Revelation. Oh, okay. That's where it's not Fury, but Fury and Revelation are back to back, and we have Luke still like. Luke is always going to be a character that doubts himself. And he's always going to sit back and contemplate what he is doing. Is it right or wrong? And I think Revelation has some of that with Luke. Then also, too, we have Jason figuring his stuff out as well as a Darth. I think it might be a slower paced. I wouldn't say slow paced book, but there's a lot of development going on for the next story. That's how I see it. Do you remember Stig?
I can't tell them apart because it's over 10 years since I read them.
Yeah.
So they all blur together.
Yeah.
So Trailer might be spot on. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that one was a bit of a slog.
He says it's all over the place. I didn't see it that way. I think it but I didn't have any like bad feelings about that book or like, oh crap, what am I reading? So yeah. And this is a Karen Travis book, of course. So we have the Fett. And how she does her books is that she'll go from like, the scenes with the Mandalorians to then back to, what's going on with the galaxy outside of the Mandalorians, and she'll go back to Boba Fett and them again. So we go back and forth between the Mandalorians and what's going on in the galaxy. So maybe that's what he's talking about. Yeah, and that we have her training in that as well. So we have her going in there seeking training. Jaina gets to see a new side of Fett, and we learn about his wife, Sentis Fel, a bit more. And I think in there they do get her back, and they take her out of the carbonite. And then Cadus sends. Oh yeah, and this is where we get Pelion dies in this. Spoiler alert. And Tahiri Vela basically is Cadus's apprentice, and she's the one that kills him. And that leads up to the story in Legacy or Fate of the Jedi, where she gets put on trial for that. Yeah, and then and so Ben is investigating his mother's death, and and he has help with that. And he even talks with his aunt and them about that. Yeah, so we see a lot of we get to see Jaina's training. We get to see, Tahiri and Darth Cadus's interaction and how she's his apprentice. And so I thought it was a really well put together story for the next chapter, because we have Revelation and then we have Invincible. So we get that. So, and it's a Karen Travis story. So we do have the Mandalorians in there, of course.
Yeah. Well, just stick with it though, because the whole series is good.
Yeah, everything ties in with it. Yeah. Yeah, everything ties in with it. And yeah, so Darth Megatron says, rest in peace, Pelion. Yes, he's one of my favorite Empire characters, Imperial characters. There we go. Pelion was a great character. And we always talk, when I ask people who are their favorite characters, usually it's either like a favorite Sith or a favorite Jedi or whatever. like some of my other favorite characters outside of those factions is Pelion, Cornhorn's wife. Then I also like Mirta Give, and she is Boba Fett's granddaughter. So yeah.
Canderous Ordo was awesome.
Yeah.
He's the Mandalorian from the KOTOR game.
Yeah.
Shows up in both of them. He's been promoted to Mandalore in the second one.
Oh yeah, that's right, huh? All right, you guys. So I went past the mark that I wanted to, close out our live stream, but that's okay. I always account for time, overlap time. Pelion is a character in the computer games Rebellion, yes. And so thank you guys so much, and I look forward to next Thursday's coffee chat. And for sure, we'll talk about the rule of two as well as explore the EU a bit more and chat about the EU a bit more. So thank you so much. So Stig, tell our wonderful chat guests where they can find you.
Usually here, or I do movie talks with Chris Knight sometimes, and then the Game of Thrones book talks on Sporking's channel. That's usually what I do. I'm not really a YouTuber myself. I just know YouTubers, and they talk to me on their channel.
Yeah, and he's a great addition as a guest here for coffee chat because he knows the lore and so it's fun to just have someone on here as a guest to really have another insight of the lore and help expand on the talk a little bit more. So thank you, Stig, for again being a guest. You are very valuable in our community.
It's always fun to be on, so it's
yeah.
Yes. All good.
Yes, and so again, thank you guys very much, and may the force be with you.
Take care and be well.